In your eyes. Oh, hey everyone, Tim here from Simulated Aviation. Today we'll be taking a look at Iris Simulation's J160 and J170. The Jabiru 160 and 170 come in the same package for $24 US and can be one of the most detailed aircraft we've seen to date. Featuring 4 custom cockpit instrument layouts and even a multitude of liveries for both variants of the Jabiru. When you purchase the Jabiru, she even comes with a new bush trip to explore. Starting with the cockpit, Iris Simulations have included an iPad in most variants of the Jabiru, and just take a look at this. You can turn on and off the external autopilots, change the type of prop your aircraft has, and you can even add or remove the wheel spats. The spats and prop do not affect the flight performance. Other than that awesome iPad, just taking a look around the pit, you can see the incredible amount of detail they put into this aircraft. From the fabric that's wrapped around the entire cockpit, to the gauges, buttons, and switches, you won't be disappointed. And get this, the doors even open if you want to catch some fresh air before your flight. Keep in mind, when in multiplayer, when you open your doors, everyone else's doors will open that are flying the J160 and 170 at the moment. There are 4 variants of this cockpit and they're each unique in their own way. We did notice that the pit of this aircraft seems to take a slight hit on your performance. With the external model, there is no decrease in performance however. With the pit knocking off a few frames per second, I did notice that the 170 Z4 8348 variant has some of the best FPS of all the available Jabiru models. The startup process is very easy. Simply turn on both magneto switches, turn on the fuel pump and avionics switches, open the fuel flow, and hold down the starter button. Now, you're ready to take to the skies in the Iris Jabiru 160-170. Taxiing with the J160-170 is a breeze. Simply release the parking brake and add full left or right rudder, and I bet you'll be able to turn around in most tight situations. The next thing you'll notice as we're about to take to the skies is just how incredible this aircraft sounds. The team at Iris Simulations have recorded the sounds you're hearing directly from the Jabiru engine, which happens to be the Jabiru 4-stroke 2200cc engine. We'll do a pre-flight check here and take a look around outside to ensure everything seems to be in order. And we're good to go. We'll release the parking brake and bring the throttle forward. Little back pressure on the stick and she's in the air. And actually, she lifts off the ground quite easily. Now to make sure our flaps went up, which they didn't, so we'll use the scroll wheel to raise them to 0%. While we're on our departure turn, you'll notice that there's quite a bit of turbulence, and as we roll out, yes, it might be getting knocked around, but the J160-170 handles turbulence with ease. The aircraft isn't rolling over on itself or making sudden changes in direction like most aircraft would. I'm sure given high enough winds, the Jabiru 160-170 would do the same. For the remainder of this flight, I'm going to switch over to clear skies to show you how the flight handling characteristics handle in their truest form. The first impressions, well, this aircraft certainly feels solid and is a pleasure to look at simply due to the fact that Iris Simulations have invested so much detail into the Jabiru 160-170. Coupled with the real world sounds and the variety of options you have, we absolutely love this aircraft. The J160 has a max altitude of 10,000 feet, while the J170 has a max altitude of 15,000 feet. This is the main difference you'll see between the two aircraft as far as performance is concerned, and both aircraft have a max cruising speed of 100 knots and look identical to one another. Does Autopilot work? Well, yes it does. There are variants of the 160 and 170 that come with or without Autopilot, so you'll have to figure out which livery and instrument setup is your favorite. Looking at our GPS, we can go to the nearest airports, select an airport we wish to land at, activate that flight route, and look towards the center where the Autopilot controls are and simply click Autopilot and select which Autopilot mode you'd like to enter. Overall, we are super excited that this is the first aircraft from Iris Simulations, and if the level of detail is this amazing as they continue to release aircraft, we can't wait to see what the future holds. Let us know what your thoughts are, and if this is an aircraft you'll consider purchasing yourself. If you've enjoyed this review, consider leaving a like and subscribing to stay up to date on future videos. We'll see you in the virtual skies.